Welcome back. You're still watching Market View. This is the Monday edition. We continue with our program. Close to 10 cooperatives have approached the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade to report mismanagement of funds and poor governance. These include Lutsango Lwakangwane Savings and Credit Cooperative, which had about 1,000 members, but now it is left with only 200 members, as some have left due to an investment in property which has left a 3 million Amalangeni deficit. Business journalist Nelson Ngamandla sits down with the Commissioner of Cooperatives, Russell Ngumalo, to discuss the way forward in helping this specific cooperative and what is being done to strengthen the whole cooperative movement in Eswatini.
Commissioner siyabonga kakhulu for joining us on the show. We are seeing a number of cooperatives kulamalanga facing a lot of challenges. So we came to you just to find out the most reported cases by cooperatives, especially in the past year.
The most reported challenges through either written or verbal are issues of governance and compliance. Governance relates to when you find that within the board of directors of that cooperative, there are some issues such as, for instance, we've amended our act. The supervisory committee is now responsible for advising or granting loans to the executive committee. So we find that there are clashes there when it comes to those governance issues. Then obviously with compliance, it's when within a cooperative, they're not following certain laid down rules, such as the remittance of financial statements, audited financial statements within the stipulated period. Those are the two most reported challenges. And then obviously once in a while you do get whereby members feel there is embezzlement of their funds. And it's when we really take note of that, because a cooperative is not supposed to be self-enriching.
How many cooperatives, Commissioner, have come to report at the ministry about these issues of governance in the past year, as you have highlighted?
In the past year, we could say it's close to 10 cooperatives who have reported such incidences. One big cooperative, which is an apex, is Eswatini, and we instituted a forensic audit. Currently, we're still looking at that report from the auditor. And then with the others, we do on-site inspections, whereby we go randomly into their offices, whereby we demand to see their finances. And off-site is when, together with FSRA, we can actually check even the bank accounts, what transactions are happening within the bank accounts. That's our off-site. And FSRA, as a regulatory body for all service providers, normally assists us with that regard.
I want to know if there are any specific steps that the ministry is taking to ensure that they are brought to book.
We have worked with the fraud unit, and we are currently working with the fraud unit. There's one cooperative in Manzini, whereby instead of being a cooperative, they turned it into, I would say, a stokvel. There's a lady, it's in court currently, there's a lady who lost about 500,000. And what we did was we reported that to the fraud unit to investigate. We actually want to take that route so that we can nip it in the bud. You know, a lot of the times when a cooperative has financially struggled and there has been embezzlement of funds, we haven't really done much in terms of bringing those people into book. But as a department, we've decided that the correct way is for the law to take its course. This week we will be meeting with the fraud unit from Manzini. There's another cooperative where we're going to report members of the board who we believe have acted in bad faith.
I want to zone into the issue of Lutsango Sako, Commissioner. What is it that the ministry is doing to assist these members?
And then when it comes to Lutsango, we didn't know Lutsango was in such a financial mess until we had quite a number of women visiting us who had actually resigned. And we took note that there were so many frequent complaints about members resigning and then not accessing their savings within the stipulated time. So we decided to do an on site inspection where we discovered that there was this 3 million plus deficit. And there were also a lot of issues with mismanagement and non-compliance within the cooperative. And we are working towards resolving the issues at Lutsango. As much as it is a high mountain to climb, but we believe we will come up with a solution. If not, then we will have to liquidate Lutsango.
We know, Commissioner, that the Lutsango Co-op wanted to build flats at 1.2 million emalangeni, but the costs have escalated. What would you say in terms of investments? How should people invest in cooperatives? What is your advice, and is there anything that you're going to do to help them?
I think with Lutsango, it was a bad investment decision that they undertook. And unfortunately, it's the members who have to bear the brunt. It all boils down to the members. They are the owners, they are the shareholders. As you know, if you join a cooperative, you have to buy shares so that you become a shareholder. But once the board of directors takes bad investment decisions, then you have to bear the brunt. With Lutsango, we're still working around to see how we can probably recapitalize them. We're not promising anything, but we are in talks with a number of people on how we can recapitalize them. And obviously, once we do that, we'll have to closely monitor their operations. We'll sort of put them into administration, if I would say. The reason we're doing that is because most members of Lutsango are elderly women, and we wouldn't like to leave a legacy of bogogo bethu basikhombe bathi sehluleka kubasita nabasenkingeni. So that's what we want to do. We are in talks with some institutions on how we can recapitalize Lutsango. And in future, we will use Lutsango as an example of what happens if you make a bad investment decision. We've seen it happening with Exponent, whereby some companies invested in Exponent and it all went down the drain.
Seeing all the challenges that you have mentioned, Commissioner, I want to find out if there are any reforms that are meant to strengthen the cooperative movement in the country.
Yes, we are working on a number of initiatives, but it starts with the department, because as I would say, we're the face of cooperatives. We have to do housekeeping first. For example, we want to review our policy. It's outdated, it's a 2017 policy. And as you know, the world is not stagnant. So we have to keep up with the current trends. And we've also partnered with DGRV from Germany to help in capacitating the movement. We also want to conduct, I would say, educational tours within the various constituencies. We know most of our cooperatives are actually in the rural areas, and it's where you find that there are these challenges I've spoken about. So we really want to go to the people out there and educate them on what it means to be in a cooperative and what a cooperative is, so that they can be able to question their board, if they can see certain irregularities within the operation of that cooperative. We've also reviewed our bylaws. We also want to review our regulations, seeing that we've amended the Act. And within those regulations, we want to put very strict measures on what happens should someone be found wanting It could be a jail sentence, it could be a fine. Those are things we want to put in place. And then within the movement itself, we've got the National Cooperative Federation of Eswatini, NCFE, who are also working towards capacitating them. That's the umbrella body. And then also the apexes. We've got SASCO, we've got the SWAMCO, and then we've got the Youth Cooperative Alliance, SNICA. What we've decided was within this period, within 6 months, we want to capacitate them so that they are actually able to handle such challenges. We should be the last resort. Members shouldn't run to us. They should run to where they're affiliated. And then also we are really pushing cooperatives to affiliate within one of these three bodies, SWAMCO, SASCO, or SNICA. And that way, they'll also be able to report such challenges to the relevant apex.
Commissioner, siyabonga kakhulu for joining us on the show. We are hoping to see the results of every effort that you are putting into ensuring that cooperatives in the country are governed in a way that will benefit the members.
Right, that was the Commissioner of Cooperatives, Russell Ngumanu. He says the ministry is determined to strengthen cooperatives in the country following reports of mismanagement of funds and poor governance. Stay with us. After the break, we connect with Sanel Sbia for today's financial market.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.